Thinking that, she became distracted. Since you know him, Mr. LV, do you know how old he is? LV Jianfeng replied enthusiastically. I was just about to tell you. That man is only 19 this year. Seeing Jia wanting freeze. LV Jianfeng assumed she was shocked by just how young Lu Yan was. He sighed emotionally. He's the same age as my son. But my son is still in his senior year of high school. And he can't even understand functions properly. Jia Wanning felt her heart pounding so hard it was about to leap from her chest. Even her voice turned hoarse as she asked, You're saying he's 19? LV Jianfeng smiled and said, Miss Jia, do you also find it unbelievable? For people like us, who are already past 50, it's hard to admit that we've been outperformed by a boy who just came of age. But after spending several years in Shenqi, you have no choice but to acknowledge him. Despite his youth, he's no less capable than us veterans in the business world. Jia Wanning listened while forcing herself to stay composed, so she wouldn't reveal too much. She picked up her pen and signed the document. Then she handed it to LV Jianfeng and said, This project has been approved, Mr. LV. Don't disappoint me. Of course, I will do my utmost. LV Jianfeng accepted the approved documents with both hands. While expressing his gratitude, he added, I've also prepared a banquet for you, Miss Jia. Please honor us with your presence. Li Jin thought to herself, How can this man be so oblivious? Can he see that Miss Jia can barely sit still? LV Jianfeng didn't know. But after following Jia Wanning for so many years, Li Jin had long guessed the reason for her reaction. Come to think of it, that boy's eyes really did resemble Madame's when she was young. With that thought in mind, she stepped forward and declined politely. President Jia has never liked formalities. Doing your job well is better than anything else. Besides, President Jia has other matters to attend to. You should head back first. After LV Jianfeng left, Jia Wanning immediately headed downstairs. She didn't even wait for the elevator, but when she walked out of the club, the seat where I had been sitting was already empty. I had already left. Even Li Jin was stunned. Miss, should we go to his company instead? And everything he had experienced over the past 19 years, down to the smallest detail. Meanwhile, in a hospital ward, Suzy was crying so hard he could barely catch his breath. Look how brutally Lu Yan attacked me. I feel like my hand is ruined. Su Lingyan was irritated as well, but she still comforted him and pulled him into her arms. The doctor said it's only a minor fracture. Just watch your diet, and you'll recover after a while. Suzy continued. But, are we really going to let this go? Su Lingyan gritted her teeth. Of course not. Once we return to the Su family, everyone who has bullied us will pay the price. Suzy looked up at her. But now you've lost Lu Corporation as a bargaining chip, and I've been blacklisted by the company. Su Mingwei is still blocking us in the Su family. Will Dad really accept us? Su Lingyan said dismissively. Do you think I wouldn't leave myself a way out? Even if this path is cut off, we still have the option of a marriage alliance. A marriage alliance? Suzy's eyes immediately lit up. You still keep in touch with Brother Hauken, right? Song Hauken was the only son of the Song family in the imperial capital. When Su Lingyan was in the imperial capital, she had approached him before. If the head of the Song family hadn't looked down on her background, and if she hadn't met me, a better stepping stone who came to her door, she wouldn't have given up on Song Hauken and turned to me instead. Although she chose Lu Yan, she had always remained in contact with Song Hauken. Combined with her deliberate manipulation, he always believed it was his father who had forced them apart. As a result, he never really blamed her, and instead always felt guilty toward her. Now that I had abandoned her, there was no need for her to keep hiding it. Yes, we're still in contact. Once he convinces his father, we'll get married. Suzy was instantly overjoyed. That's great. The Song family and the Su family are a perfect match, and Brother Song Hauken is the Song family's only son. If the two of you get married, and everyone finds out, the Su family might even invite us back. As he spoke, his expression darkened again. You never should have given up on Brother Hauken. Although the Song family is only ranked 8th among the elite families, of the imperial capital. They're still a prestigious family, with generations of history. Lu Corporation may look good now, but how long can such a young company maintain its glory? Besides, he's just an orphan from an orphanage. Even if he manages to enter high society, people will still look down on him. He thinks that getting together with Yun Mengyao will let him become part of the upper class. Even the Song family cares about one's background. After hearing Susie's words, Su Lingyan's gloomy mood over the past few days finally eased. She pulled out a few tissues and handed them to Susie. Wipe your face. Song Haoken will be here soon. Don't let him see you like this and laugh at you. Susie took the tissues in a daze. Brother Haoken is coming. Isn't he in the imperial capital? Why would he suddenly come here? Su Lingyan explained. The old master of the Zheng family in Shenqi is celebrating his 80th birthday. The Song and Zheng families have been close for generations, so he's here for the celebration. Meanwhile, in a luxurious reception room, when Yun Mengyao saw the woman walk in, she waved Zhang Ting away to make coffee. What a rare guest, Sister Wanning. What brings you to Shenqi? All of a sudden, Jia Wanning tossed her car keys onto the coffee table. She walked over and sat on the sofa opposite Yun Mengyao. She looked completely at ease, as if she were in her own home. I was about to ask you, why have you been staying in Shenqi for so long? Yun Mengyao raised an eyebrow. A teasing smile appeared at the corner of her lips. Let's see what kind of man has managed to charm you. Yun Mengyao nearly choked. Jia Wanning paid little attention to Yun Mengyao's reaction and instead answered her original question. I came here to inspect and approve a project. And besides, she straightened up slightly, and the light in her eyes seemed to brighten. I think I found my younger brother. Hearing that, Yun Mengyao became serious. Are you that certain? Have you done a DNA test yet? Jia Wanning unconsciously rubbed her hands together. Not yet, but I have a feeling that person is my brother. Do you know that kind of intuition? Among all the people we suspected before, including those who looked a lot like my mother and tried to impersonate him, none of them ever made me feel this way. Yun Mengyao looked puzzled. Then why hesitate? Why not take him for a DNA test? Instead, you came here to pass along a message from my mother. Is that really more important than finding your brother? Of course not. Since she wasn't certain yet, she didn't mention that the person might actually be the president of Lu Corporation, and the closer she got to uncovering the truth, the more nervous she became. Yun Mengyao seemed to understand her feelings and chose not to ask further. Just then, Zhang Ting walked over with 2 cups of coffee. Yun Mengyao took a sip and casually asked, if you've really found him, your brother should be about the same age as me, right? Jia Wanning nodded. Yun Mengyao looked at the face that had suddenly become hostile toward her and couldn't help laughing helplessly. It's not even certain that he's your brother yet, after being interrupted like that. She couldn't be bothered to ask about his birth date anymore. She hurriedly clarified. Besides, I already have a boyfriend. Jia Wanning was surprised to hear that. Before she could ask further, her phone received a text message. It was from Li Jin with news about her younger brother. She immediately lost interest in Yun Mengyao's love life. I've delivered Annie's message. If there's nothing else, I'll be leaving, without giving Yun Mengyao a chance to see her off. Jia Wanning got into a black sedan parked by the roadside. Li Jin, who was in the driver's seat, handed her a thin file. Miss, according to my investigation, that young man's name is Lu Yan. He's 19 years old, but his birth date is unknown. In addition, he has no parents. Before the age of 5, he lived in Nanling Orphanage. We couldn't find any other information. Hearing that he was an orphan with no parents, Jia Wanning felt both excited and heartbroken. She was excited because the possibility of him being her brother had increased. But when she thought about the hardships he might have suffered as a child, her heart ached. But why can't we find any other information? The Jia family may not have a top-tier international intelligence network, but with our status equal to the Liu family, we shouldn't be unable to investigate a person's background. Li Jin shook her head. This subordinate is incompetent, but his information looks as though it was deliberately erased. Only these basic details remain. No matter what I tried, I couldn't uncover anything else. Jia Wanning looked thoughtfully at the file, placed in order with District 7. Then she glanced at her watch. What about the appointment I asked you to arrange? Li Jin replied. It's been scheduled. Tomorrow morning at 10. Jia Wanning nodded. Just as she was about to say something else, she heard Li Jin add, Miss, District 7 rejected our request. Jia Wanning looked up at her. Why would they reject it? You didn't contact Yabai, did you? Yabai was one of District 7's core members, but also the most mysterious and unpredictable. Whether he accepted jobs depended entirely on his mood. No, I submitted it directly through the official website, and it was rejected in less than an hour. The confusion in Jia Wanning's eyes deepened. Then let's stop investigating for now. The most important thing at the moment is to determine whether Liu Yan is really my brother. In the president's office of Liu Corporation, I was wearing a strangely shaped earpiece, listening to someone from District 7. One of District 7's for elders, Kai, was grumbling on the other end. The Jia family's young lady from Wagwo tried to investigate you, and I rejected her request. Don't I get some kind of reward? No. How heartless. But do you have some kind of grudge against her? Why is she investigating you? Do you need District 7 to send people to help? No need. Goodbye. After saying that, I cut off the connection, leaving Kai on the other side of the ocean fuming helplessly. After shutting down my computer, I called Shen Bingbing into the office. Prepare the car. Shen Bingbing glanced at the time. President Liu, aren't you waiting for President Yun to pick you up? Ever since her boss had gotten together with Yun Mengyao, she had rarely had the chance to moonlight as a driver. Yun Mengyao handled most of the commuting. I replied, why should I wait for her to pick me up? Can I pick her up from work instead? Yun Mengyao had left work early on purpose, planning to pick me up like she had yesterday. But the moment she walked out of the company, she saw a Maybach parked at the entrance. Miss, doesn't that look like Mr. Liu's car? Zhang Ting had barely finished speaking when the rear window rolled down. It really is Mr. Liu. Zhang Ting's mouth fell open. Mr. Liu, why are you here? I rested my elbow on the car window frame. I looked at Yun Mengyao and curled my lips into a smile. Why else would I be here at this hour? Of course, I'm here to pick your young lady up from work. Yun Mengyao lowered her head and smiled softly. Her long eyelashes cast delicate shadows. Bathed in the glow of the setting sun, she looked dreamlike and enchanting. My heart skipped a beat without dignity. I thought that if it weren't for Su Lingyan, in my previous life, I would probably have fallen for this captivating beauty long ago. I coughed lightly to cover it up. Then I tapped the window frame and said, get in. Yun Mengyao answered softly and had just opened the car door when Zhang Ting suddenly called out, Miss, do you know what you look like right now? Yun Mengyao narrowed her eyes. Zhang Ting's heart trembled, but she still bravely said, like a shy bride on her way to the wedding sedan. Shen Bingbing and I both burst out laughing. Compared to Zhang Ting's boldness, I felt I managed my staff rather well. Yun Mengyao crooked her finger at Zhang Ting. Come here. Zhang Ting immediately hugged my leg. Mr. Liu, save me. A dangerous smile appeared on Yun Mengyao's lips. It seems you don't plan on going home. After saying that, she ignored Zhang Ting, bent down, and got into the car. Seeing Yun Mengyao get in, Shen Bingbing started the car and asked, President Liu, where are we going? She still didn't know the two of us were already living together. She thought this was just a simple case of picking up a girlfriend from work. I turned my head and looked to Yun Mengyao for her opinion. Before Yun Mengyao could answer, Zhang Ting sprang back to life. Assistant Shen, you don't get it, do you? With the relationship between Miss Yun and Mr. Liu now, it doesn't matter where you take them. It's all the same place anyway. Yun Mengyao raised an eyebrow. This time, she didn't refute it. Shen Bingbing seemed half confused, but after hearing my instructions to head home, she finally understood the destination. Before driving off, She turned back and glanced at Zhang Ting once more. Miss Zhang, are you sure you're not coming back with us? No need. I still have to drive Miss Yun's car back. Zhang Ting waved her hand, as if thinking of something. She looked at Shen Bingbing with a gleeful expression. What goes around comes around. Assistant Shen finally gets to experience what I go through. After saying that, she turned and left, giving no chance for further questions. Shen Bingbing was indeed confused, but she soon understood. Recalling Zhang Ting's words, she listened to the intimate sounds from the back seat and couldn't help but think that she had also followed her boss and Su Lingyan before, yet she had never seen the two of them kiss. It seemed Su Lingyan truly had been an exception. Just then, a ringtone broke the intimate atmosphere in the car. Breathing heavily, I gently pushed the emotional Yun Mengyao